I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
You're funny.
Like I said. Do you like my tail?
Like I said.
And we are back for another live installment of Iron Rage. I'm Dave Palumbo, joined as always by Lee Priest and special guest John Romano. We're going to have one raging hell of a time. And Lee is packing, actually, to the United States.
Oh,
and he's got abs. Hold on. Let me zoom in on this.
223 pounds.
Wow.
There's abs under the hair there. And let me tell you something about hair. Just a little
Hold on. Why don't you take the whole shirt off and give us a couple of shots?
Because I don't look good, Dave. I just got out of bed. It's too
You look
early.
really good, actually.
I don't, Dave. Look, this is 51 years old, not
That's pretty damn good, 51. I got news for you. That arm is pretty damn big still.
It's
Wow.
the comeback.
It's the comeback, John.
What's that? Your third or fourth comeback? Because
Do you have legs too? What about legs?
Hold on. Fuck, you're making me do a lot of shit here. Hold on. Here it comes.
Wow. He's got legs, John, too.
damn.
So now, you know what the viewers are saying right now, John. They're like, he's on 1,000 milligrams of Tren, 1,000 test,
His arms look jimmied up.
50 D-ball, 80 cc's of synthol in each arm.
Wait, right. He's jimmied up. He's on
You know what
400
I'm
different peptides.
right.
You know what I'm upset about? I've been having like one shot every 8 days of SUS 250, and I forgot to take it. So now I'm going to go like another week and a half without my shot. I'm going to fucking lose my...
That's it. You're gonna lose all your muscle.
Lee, are
When
you
I'm in
going to
New Jersey,
Lancaster,
can someone-
Pennsylvania?
Someone bring me a shot when I'm in New Jersey.
Nah, I'm sure, believe me, there'll be plenty of people there with drugs.
But what I was going to say about the hair was, here's a tip, people. Is that better? No.
You got to
When
close
you-
close the blinds behind you.
Yeah, you got to shut the blinds.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's it. Put the other one too.
You paid extra for the corner unit, and now we start to close the blinds.
Hello. No, because I stay here, like they upgrade me all the time. But let me get back to what I was saying about the hair on the stomach. When you're having a wank, you got to use twice as many tissues to get the jizz out of your hair.
How come you don't shave? You're the only bodybuilder I know who doesn't shave.
I don't know. I'm having my Sam Sulik breakfast.
Regular Coca-Cola. Oh my God, that's the Jimmy the Bull right there.
Oh, fuck, I got a hole in my
veins. He's carbon up.
Yeah.
I'm up for my flight
Now,
today.
I have a feeling that have you been dieting for this trip to the United States?
I was in hospital the other day, right? They said, what's your diet like? And I thought about it. I've had vegetables twice this month, Dave.
How'd you get so lean? You're obviously not drinking regular Cokes normally.
Because I've been missing a few meals, and that's when the doctor said, you're in ketosis. And I'm like, how can I be in ketosis? I eat a lot of shit food, and they come back, I'm in ketosis, so your body's eating its fat. So I went, well, that's not a bad thing. So now yesterday the other morning before legs, I went to the gym. I wasn't feeling good. So I come home. I said, I'll have breakfast. So I had my bowl of oatmeal. I went, that's good, with a bit of honey and peanut butter. I'm going to have eggs. I went, I don't want eggs. So I had the leftover Kentucky chicken. Leftover Kentucky chicken before legs, not a good idea. I think
I was going to say, oh my God.
Doing leg press. Oh, the acid, had to eat it again.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. But he still had the oatmeal with the honey and
Right.
on it too.
Well, the idea would be that they would balance out. Right. Exactly. So there is nothing worse than that heartburn feeling, you know, when you're trying to press and you're trying to bear. Oh, that's terrible. I hate that.
And then it comes up and you got to swallow the acid again. Oh.
That's why before I would train, I always had a shake because it seemed like the weight would always coat my stomach. I would never get that burpee.
And I've got these here too. Look at these. These are very good. Hold on, I'll show you. Coconut round.
Oh, you're going to, you know what, Lee, you know what's going to happen with all this shit you're eating? You are going to have to take a crap on the airplane, which you're going to be on for 16 hours. And you're going to stink that toilet out so bad and that they're going to have to turn the plane around probably and go back.
That's okay. I've already I take like 5 craps a day of the shit food I've been eating.
Are you even able to fit in the bathroom, like and sit on the toilet bowl if you have to in those planes?
Sometimes, but you gotta wipe between your legs. You can't go around.
Do you notice that you have trouble because your legs are so big you can't fit your penis into the toilet when you're sitting?
You gotta hold it up. You gotta hold it up. Yeah.
I usually just throw it over my shoulder.
Yeah. But here's something funny. They were going to try and upgrade me, so they called me and go, Lee, we can get you an upgrade. It's 900. I'm like, that's not bad, okay. But then they called back and said, we made a mistake. The upgrade's 3,500. I'm like, forget it. So I said, maybe when I get to the airport, you can get the cheaper ones. But they said, we've got you in a premium economy, they said. And they said, you know, the good thing about premium economy, you need more, you got more leg room. I'm like I need fucking leg room.
Yeah,
my feet are like, my legs
he
are like
needs side-to-side room is what he needs.
No, you know what that means is that you're furthest from the bathroom. The premium economy seat is the furthest from the bathroom,
and it's really all it is the emergency row. That's all it is.
It's usually that or the bulkhead. The bulkhead seat.
Yeah.
I did look at the ticket though from LA to Newark. It says coach and that, but then on my ticket from Australia it does say business and P in brackets, so maybe they might slip me into the business.
You never know. You would think that someone at the airport would recognize you as Lee Priest.
That happened one day. The guy, not the captain, but the guy next under the captain recognized me once, and he took me into the cockpit and that. But this is what happened. I thought I was in trouble. After he saw me, I took a pic, showed me the thing. I get to the thing, I hand them my ticket. They go, stand over there. I went, okay. They said, give us your ticket. So I gave them my ticket and they went like this. I went, oh fuck, I'm in real trouble now. They must have looked in my bags. And then they go, here's your ticket. I'm like, ooh, 2B. I was up the very front.
Oh, you got the first business class.
So it's who you know. It's who you know these days.
Of course it is, yeah. Or who you blow, they say.
No. Hey, if it comes to comfort, a little bit of being comfortable for 14 hours of comfort.
That's a long flight. It might be worth it, Lee. You know.
I know. I'll be up there. It'll be like that movie Flying High. Remember, with the blow-up pilot on the captain's lap in the.
Now, hold on. Someone told me that someone in the comments says that you're going to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Is that true?
Where's that?
It's the Amish country. That's where I went to college.
I'm going to Edison, New Jersey for the seminar at the gym Saturday, 12 p.m., free to the public. And then they said they got 2 store appearances, but I don't think they'd send me to a store.
Yeah, you're going. It says, ask him. I saw a flyer for a supplement store Lee will be at in Lancaster, PA on October 11th.
Might be a day trip they got planned for you. That's not
how far is that?
New Jersey.
From where you're going to be, probably an hour and 20 minutes. Now, if you go there, that's where I lived there for 4 years. That's where I went to college, Franklin and Marshall College. You got to go visit the college if you're there.
I'm going to go to see the Amish people in the horse and buggies and stuff.
You should.
That's pretty cool.
It's a very big tourist area, you know, but it's pretty cool. You know, they got some cool stuff and stuff that you can do.
Do they use mobile phones in that? No? Or?
I don't know. I haven't been there in years. I used to run through their farms when I was a runner back in the day.
What do the women use for a vibrator? A stick?
You should ask them. Maybe they'll. Maybe you can get a little nookie from one of the Amish women there.
How do they have sex?
John, Leo calls up. He's like, I'm moving to the Amish country. I'm going to be living in Lancashire now.
Well, you know, the Amish kids go on this, the teenagers, I think when they're 16 or 17, they go on this thing where they're allowed to be like normal.
Yeah,
you know,
for a weekend or something like that.
And
right?
some of them like do porn and, you know, like go fucking ape shit off the anvil, you know, because they're like been so compressed their whole lives.
Back in the 80s, there was no internet or anything like that. So it was, the Amish were really secluded. They were not connected to the real world. Now I think they have more, they're more connected because of the internet and everything like that. And they're a little bit more, they're not as remote as they were years and years ago.
What they weren't allowed to have. I'd probably love to live there because when things were more basic, things were so much easier. Life was better.
Oh yeah, you go outside, you get eggs from the chickens out there. You do a little sucky on the cows, so you get a little milk.
I know you don't suck the things. My friend went to Nigeria. My friend went to Nigeria where the tribes people are, and he sent me videos where they shower under the urine of the cows. And that was it. But this is what they do. He sent me a video, and I said, "What's that person doing?" What they do is they blow air into the vagina of the cow, and it produces more milk. So he sent these videos. They're holding the tail up, going into the cow's vagina. And so anyone out there, if your wife's pregnant, is having a hard time producing milk, and the baby's there, just go down and blow in a pussy that produces more. It works for the cows.
Yeah. Well, you see, John, isn't it amazing?
I'm eating chocolates and drinking this. I hope fucking Nick Trigilli doesn't do a video on me.
You learn so much about me when you do a show with him, right?
But the thing was, though, when he came back from Nigeria, he got a ban from Instagram for a month because he posted up, because he went to a couple of different tribes and they live out there. They burn all the cow dung to keep the flies away. So it looks like this smoke and haze. It looks really beautiful. But when he posted the pictures and he put hashtag Nigeria in the flag, he got a ban because I guess Nigeria looks like another word.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
They banned him for a month. Yeah.
That's
They're like,
crazy.
oh, he left the G out, but we're going to ban him anyway.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You would probably do well in one of those little like cultures and stuff like that because Lee likes he needs to have routines all day long. He's like an ADD kid.
And you're not. You have a ritual for everything.
Yes, yeah, you'd be great. Like,
I'd like to
get up in the morning.
You, Dave.
Oh yeah, but I don't like to get up at 4 a.m. He likes to get up really early, and they get up. They got to do all the chores around the house.
Know, I lived in a situation like that on a farm in upstate New York for a while.
Oh, you did. That's right. You were roughing it in the wild.
Well, yeah, my father came home. We had a 65-acre piece of property in upstate New York. And my father comes home one day from the office and he says, okay, from now on, we're not going to the store. We're not buying anything except toilet paper and olive oil. That's it. Everything else we're going to grow. So all of a sudden, he's turned the heat off too. We had to heat the whole house. He's a psychiatrist with his own practice and his staff at a hospital because head of the department. He comes home and then notifies us. I'm like 16 years old now. I got pigs. I got to like feed before school. I got to split fire, cordwood to keep I had to keep all the fires going. So we had. Wow. We had a stove kind of fireplace in the basement, in the bottom room, the brute cellar, and then we had a regular fireplace in the room next to it, and then up one floor up we had another one of those stoves in the.
Did you have one of those things like this that you squeeze to keep the fire going?
No, I didn't have to use that.
When you said upstate there for all, I thought you were talking about the federal farm and that you went to.
No, that came later.
But that was routine.
Jail is actually more civilized than where John was.
Yes, jail was way easier than what my father put us through. And then, I had to like get the tractor and drag these huge logs out of the wood and like saw them in pieces and split it open and like stack it up and carry it. And that was just one little thing. I had all these other shit we had to do. We had goats, right? They constantly got out. So I had to like string barbed wire up with it.
How did your father know how to do all this stuff to teach you to begin with? Where did he learn?
My father did not want to be a psychiatrist. He wanted to be a farmer. Okay, so he was actually got in college, was going to be some agricultural school that he got accepted to. I forgot what it was, and that it wasn't until the following year, so he had a whole year to kill. So his friend that he grew up with said, "Why don't you become a doctor instead of a farmer? That way you can buy the farm. You know, you make it
right.
So you can make a ton of money and buy your farm." So
that's what he did.
That's
what John didn't realize was at the hospital where his father worked, there was this big case study on what would happen if you take a family from civilization and put them out in the farm. And his father said, I'll volunteer. I'll put my family out there and see how it affects them. Speaking of farms, look at that good shirt. When's the show coming back?
Yeah, that's a great show, man. That's a range. But
Yellowstone.
John Scuderi, all old school Italians are farmers and gardeners.
Yep.
Right.
My father, when he lived in an apartment in Flushing, when he came back from Costa Rica and had to start over again at Creedmoor, and when he had an apartment off the grounds in Creedmoor, he had a freaking pots in the windowsill. He was growing tomatoes.
Oh my God, that's funny.
And basil, you know, and he's like, you cannot escape being Italian. You just, you can't help yourself. You know, you would grow a tomato anywhere. All
right, so I talked to Carlo Filipponi yesterday, and Carlo has agreed.
That's chicken pound. That's chicken pound.
Chickenpound.com, yeah. Right. And Carlo has agreed to pick up Greg because we know that Greg will never come see you. If he doesn't have someone drive him down there, Lee.
Yeah, so Greg is a very narrow, very.
The thing was when Greg called me. Greg called me. I was at the gym the other day. And he's trying to organise, for me and Jim and him to hook up and that. And I was telling him the days that I'm free. He's like, let me check. Yeah, Monday's a good day. And I'm thinking to myself, Monday? What else do you fucking do? Yeah. Monday? You're busy on Saturday, Sunday?
He has to be nowhere. He doesn't have to leave ever. I think Greg has like a circle, and he can't drive outside of it.
No, he's like my father. He's like a typical old Italian. They don't like to anything that breaks with their schedule, which is really, they don't really do anything. The only thing that breaks their schedule is just going to the doctor or something like that. They got to mentally prepare for 2 days in a row.
I'm the same.
Because Greg doesn't, he's like my father, he goes to bed at 6 in the morning, and then he'll sleep till 2 in the afternoon. And then he gets up and he goes to the gym at midnight. So if he's got to go to a doctor's appointment 9 a.m., it means that he's not sleeping. He's going to probably get an hour or two of sleep. He'll be stressing, so he probably won't even fall asleep. So that ruins the whole next day because he's so tired.
I think that's why I went to the hospital, because I've been stressing about this trip for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, you're kind of a little like that, dear. You're a little neurotic.
Having to pack the bag and then drive to the airport. Then I'm thinking the plane leaves at 10:30 today. So if I left home today, there could be an accident on the freeway. The car could break down. So Tuesday, I took my car to get serviced, even though the service isn't due. I just took it anyway to get serviced. But good thing I did. My battery cells were down. I was only 8% in the battery, so it's a good thing I did. But here's the good thing. I've been feeling crappy all week, and I don't know if this is psychological or not, but when they say you help people and that, it makes you feel good. So all this week, before when I had the viral thing, then the viral thing went away, but I was still feeling crappy. I was sitting there, and this old guy looks over and he goes, "Hey, you look like you do a bit of lifting." And that we got talking. He's talking about my tattoos. He was like an ex-retired policeman. Now his wife had passed and he's lonely. And he goes to the men's shed where they make wooden stuff. And we were talking for an hour. And then his car come up and Craig's like, "Yeah, you ready to go now?" It's all ready. He's like, "Oh, I hope I can afford it." I walked straight over and said to Craig, "Here, give me his bill. I'll take care of it. That's my friend that runs the mechanic shop." I should have looked at the bill first. It's $315 for it. but I paid it. And he went to pay it. He's like, "It's taken care of." And the old guy just looks over and he goes, No. And then he just broke down crying. He's like, "Oh, no one's ever done that for me." He's 81 years old. I said, "Okay, no problem." Then he comes over, he gives me a hug. Then I'm almost crying. There's another old guy sitting there going, "Oh, that's wonderful." And he's crying. But ever since then, even that morning, I had stomach things and I wasn't feeling good. Since then, I felt great. So whether it's just psychological or whatever, that helping someone must have let all these endorphins out.
Yeah, you release dopamine by doing a good deed.
So So, but by the time I paid for his car $315 and mine $355, it was an expensive trip to the mechanic shop.
Well,
and then when I go to pick up my car, the mechanics out there are like, "Hey, Lee, I'm bringing my car in tomorrow."
Lee, you're 50 years old and you're having anxiety attacks. Wait till you're 70 and you really are old. You know, you're going to be like in the hospital every other day.
No, I'm going to release my anxiety. I'm just going to in people that piss me off.
Now, Lee, is it like this for Australians? Like in America anyway? I don't know how it is in the native countries, but Italians and Jews both are very similar in this regard. Is that as we get older, we get more of what we are. So the Jews get more Jewish and the Italians get more Italian, right? Mm-hmm. As you get older. So that way, and you know, we keep picking on Greg here, and he's not here, which is not fair. But if he was here, we'd be saying the same thing.
He's supposed to be here. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah.
But I think he's most exemplifies this axiom that you get more Italian as you get old, because he absolutely has.
Yeah.
So I watched my father do it. I watched my uncles do it. I mean, does that happen in Australia? The Australians get more like stereotypically Australian as they get older, as they age?
Well, I haven't taken up the drink yet, so I haven't really done that. I said to Dave the other day, I sent Dave a message, and I said, I don't feel good now. And I said, I'm getting very angry mood. Now, the last few months I've noticed, because I'm on the sus 250, that's the only thing that's changed. But normally nothing bothers me. I've always been carefree. Lately, any little thing, someone cuts me off or does something on the road, I'm like, you fucking arsehole, beep. I'm like, just put your fucking window down. I'm going to fucking ram your car and get out of
1,000 milligrams of Trent. I told you, John.
But I'm not on Trent. But then I was in the service station.
Not in Trent.
He's lying.
No, it's sus 250. Well, that's what it's meant to be. And I don't get the cough. So, but I'm at the service station. The lady goes, hello. I said, hi, I'm very nice. And then this guy walks in. He gets in front of me. I'm waiting to pay. And he's like, do you know where this street is? And he pulls up Google Maps, and she's got Google Maps. I'm thinking, you got fucking Google Maps. Why are you asking her? 5 minutes has gone by. I'm like, I'm looking, and I look over at the other guy, and he looks at me and looks at the girl. He goes, oh, serve that customer there first. And the guy turns and goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, that's okay. I got all fucking day. And I'm thinking, I never normally say that.
I think, you know what it is, John? He doesn't usually take anything. So, like, he can do 500 milligrams a test. It's like if a normal person did, like, 2 grams a test a week.
2 grams. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. He's not used to it.
Any little thing like that, I'm walking down the street and someone does something and they're, like, really rude. I'm like, oh, just have a go. Just fucking have a go.
You do look bigger than you normally are. So I gotta say, you definitely look like you're on a side.
Well, I have. Sure. Well, before I started, and like I said,
your arm is bigger than your head, Lee, right now.
The doctor said that I've been going ketosis because even last week I had breakfast, but I was doing shit in the yard. I didn't eat again for 7 hours. I was just out there doing shit. So, and then if I go to a car show, I won't eat for 5 hours. So then I'm like, maybe I should eat more. But just taking the test alone and not even eating, I've gone from 91 kilos to 99 kilos.
Well, that's because you're a genetic freak. If I did that, I would lose 10 pounds by the end of the day.
Well, my friends used to say that too. I got a friend who was always on the gear. He has his shots by this every day. When we trained together for years, he would say to me, he goes, I hate you. I said, why? He goes, I'm with you all day. You barely fucking eat. You're fucking growing. And I'm taking fucking shots religiously. He goes, you fucking growing. You're not even eating. That's why I always said I probably could have been a better bodybuilder if in my off seasons I was more regulated with my meals.
Of course. The only time you ate well was right before a show because you were hungry.
It was.
On that note, could you imagine if Jimmy the Bull had like Dave Palumbo bodybuilding mentality?
Oh my God. Yeah, forget about it.
He was the worst eater. No, exactly. Everything that he accomplished, he did in spite of himself, not because he was.
Well, he did it on hot. He was at least Lee ate something that was good. Jimmy was eating hot dogs.
Hot dogs and sausage and peppers and hamburgers and spaghetti.
Well, Sunday at the car show, I had a nice meat beef pie. I had a sausage roll. That's like the meat inside, and I did have a foot-long hot dog, and because the doctor said I was a little bit dehydrated, I had 2 things of Gatorade with it, so it sort of helped me.
Unbelievable. Hey, did you guys see this story about this this transgender runner from Maine?
The one that's got a hand the size of a baseball mitt.
And I got breaking news too. I mentioned it before we come on. I'm the new Speaker of the House.
Yeah, yeah, I believe it. This kid who was a boy, I think last year, now thinks he's a girl.
Looks just like a boy.
Was running the 5. In cross country, it's 5K. It's 3.1 miles. He was like 157th ranked last year, and now she is ranked 4th. She's not even first. She's 4th in the women's ranking. People are outraged, because that she should be allowed to run.
That doesn't even look like if you're going to attempt to be, at least make an attempt to look like a fucking woman. Come on.
Well, I think she was a boy like a couple months earlier. Like it's not like she's been transitioning for quite a long time.
We'll put a wig on at least. That looks like a guy.
Is that her parents in the background clapping?
I don't know, but maybe, She goes to the private Maine Coast Waldorf School in Freeport.
It was a close race. They were neck and neck. They're running down, and he wins by a knob.
She was 172nd in the district as a freshman, but this year she's competing in the girls division after transitioning, has soared up the rankings to 4th.
In one of the most liberal neighborhoods in the Northeast.
We got a thing here right now. It's on the news. Nazis threatened. We've got this thing going right now. You got to vote this week. It's called The Voice. So The Voice, Aborigines can have a voice in Parliament. They've already got voices in Parliament, but this new thing they bring in can give them, like if you're a farmer and you want to do something on your land, you have to go to the Aborigine Commission and they have to give you permission. You've got to pay them this money. And if you do it without their permission, they can come on your land and take all your farm equipment. It's happening in Western Australia.
Wow.
The true Aborigines don't want it. The city Aborigines want it. But here's the thing. They're only 3% of the population, so less than 1 million Aborigines in Australia. They already get 30 billion a year. But it's just being squandered by the bureaucrats. But now they've got the Yes campaign. I went to vote yesterday, and the Yes votes have these beautiful signs, Aboriginal art on it. If you vote no, they've got a sign that says no. It's in black and grey with division written all over it.
Oh my God.
But now they're upset because someone burnt the Aboriginal flag and they're saying it's Nazis. I'm thinking, how many times do these bastards burn the Australian flag? It doesn't even get on the news, but you burn their flag. It's like, you get these terrorists that blow people up. Heaven forbid you burn the Quran.
Well, they're the minority always gets the rights over the majority.
Why is that? Why it's the same here with the LBGTQ divided by sign and exclamation point emoji.
Forget about the politics of it. I mean, let's talk sports. I mean, my daughter, let's say, is a runner and she's competing in cross country, and all of a sudden, maybe she's going to be a senior this year. She has a chance to get a scholarship. She's maybe the next best runner in the Lee County here, and all of a sudden, some kid who was competing on the boys team last year decides, I'm a girl this year, and he beats my daughter, and now my daughter doesn't get the scholarship because she's not number 1 anymore, and he takes her place instead. I mean, I would be pretty upset. I know my daughter would be upset, right?
And then if you said that's not right, then you're transphobic.
Right. But you know what? It ruins the integrity of women's sports. I mean,
but what the problem is that it's self-perpetuating, because the people that are bitching now about the outcome are the people that voted the fucking morons in office that are making these stupid fucking rules.
Right.
So you vote for this shit, and now it happens to you, and now you're complaining. Right. So, if you guys would follow some kind of more, traditional and understandable basic biological, inference for what men and women are, boys and girls, and play these sports accordingly, you wouldn't have these fucking problems. But you got these stupid fucking bleeding heart tree hugging liberals who have to change everything to fit the narrative. Now they're stuck in a situation where their daughter might lose a scholarship to a boy, and they're going to have to swallow that as being okay because that's what they want.
Bobby Kennedy said it best. Bobby Kennedy said, it's like, you kill your parents and then you go to the court and you cry that you're an orphan.
You're an orphan, yeah.
You're talking about the Menendez brothers,
right? That's what they did.
Now, the thing was, I laughed the other day because we had on the news here, or I must have watched it on maybe YouTube, that politician that was in Washington who got carjacked, and they're talking about, the crime's so high, it's going up like carjackers are going up 100%. in Washington because that senator guy got carjacked and that. But this is the funny thing. I'm sure John's having a laugh at this, listening to the excuses of Bowman, who pulled the fire alarm to get out of the building.
Oh, how about that? Yeah.
Oh.
How about Dianne Feinstein had to wrench the pen out of her fucking cold, dead hand? You know?
Oh my God.
What the fuck?
It's going to be like that with Biden, John. So,
Did you see Biden freeze up like Mitch McConnell did? He just stopped in the sentence, and then he totally loses his train of thought, and then he goes, "Oh well."
Wasn't it only a couple of weeks before that where Feinstein was at that meeting and she just went off? She didn't know what she was talking about. Remember when she was reading?
Yeah, and the girl said, "Just say yes. Just say yay."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yay.
It's like, get out. But I love this guy because he was a school principal.
Yeah, always should quit on top. I don't know why anyone would want to quit when they're not on top. I don't get
the power. They don't want to give up that power.
Lee just hit it on the head. Yeah. They are addicted to the power. They cannot let go of that power. Nancy Pelosi is going to cling on to it with her false teeth until they fucking put her in the ground. And with all 7 eyebrows, she can't even talk, and she's going to run again for the children.
What gets me is though, why wouldn't you want to retire? You've got all that money you've squandered. It's like, go enjoy your life, have fun.
That is how addicted they are to that power. They think they're American royalty. Yeah. That's what they think they are. They are addicted, but hopelessly, helplessly, happily addicted to their power, and they will not let go of it until they fucking die.
And even
then, I bet you if you did a seance and you find out they're still fucking.
It's like I like that Bowman too because he was a school principal. I'm thinking, how many fire drills did he had? I'm thinking, how many times did a kid pull alarm just being an arsehole? And that kid had to come to the office and he probably scrutinized him on, you don't pull fire alarms. You know
what about that bullshit excuse he tried to pass off as to why he did it?
What about AOC's excuse? What word did she use? People they haven't used that word since the 50s or 60s when she said he wanted to get out of, she used some word. And everyone's like, who the hell uses that word? I forget what it was, but it was some stupid.
Well, I want to bring up. Let's change topic off politics for a minute. We reported on Heavy Muscle Radio this past week that Bill Cambra died. I don't know if you did. You know who Bill Cambra was, John?
I knew who he was. Yeah,
he was a bodybuilder back in the day. He owned a gym.
Yeah, he was a Venice guy.
Yeah, well, yeah, he owned a gym, and Ed Connors, kind of taught him the ropes, and he just died of prostate cancer. He was rich. He was Rich Piana's mentor.
Yeah.
And he taught Rich, everything about bodybuilding, when Rich was a teenager and everything like that.
What's he sitting on there? Is he on the red version of Knight Rider there, is he?
It looks like a Bricklin.
Yeah, I can't tell.
With the gull wing doors, yeah, that's a Bricklin.
Is it?
Yep.
I thought it was
got the doors open. Oh, yeah, I can see the doors open now.
Now, what's interesting, guys, is that I look back in one of my saved emails that you know how you get emails sometimes from people and you're like, all right, I'm going to get back to them. And he had sent me an email back in February 2nd of this year. And he said, my son contacted you in regards to the possibility of doing an interview with you. My bodybuilding career started in 1978. My last show was in 2004. During that time, I worked for Ed Connors. At the time I started there was only one Gold's Gym. I worked at the very first franchise in San Francisco. I started the Gold's in San Jose and eventually landed in Sacramento. With the knowledge I learned from Ed, I started my own gym, Body and Power Health Club. Our gym spawned a large group of athletes. The most famous was by far Rich Piana, who I had known from the age of 9, and his passing in 2017. I'm very protective of that relationship. Most saw Rich as he was. I always saw him as a young boy. He grew up emulating the guys in the gym. I'm sure you will understand I carry some guilt for failing to get him to turn the ship around. In 1989, I was charged and convicted with a host of felonies regarding PEDs. I did 2 years in federal prison and 1 year with a 1-year tail because of the drug testing that followed me. I look at the time as a blessing. My son was born as a direct result of me being clean. It would have never happened had it not been for the laws changing. As you know, it was legal before when I started my career to take steroids. In 2015, I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. Currently, it is in a large percentage of my bones. I ride my bicycle to the gym like I always did. I usually train every day. My test level is 0.25. No muscle left or strength for that matter, but I still go. I'm starting another round of chemo on February 13th. I have no idea what it's going to do to me. The last stuff they gave me made me stupid, so I told them I was done. I remain in charge of my treatments, even though I'm at the Mayo Clinic. I'm no guinea pig. I look forward to speaking with you. I did an hour with John and Lee back in 2013 about troubles with the NPC. Apparently, nothing has changed. Thank you, Bill Kemp. So you interviewed him, guys.
I was going to say, I remembered his name when you said it. So yeah,
you guys interviewed him.
We did.
I was speaking to his son the other day, and his son told me that his last words were, "I'll probably die waiting for a reply from Dave."
Nah, that's not nicely. Too soon.
Did you reply to him?
I had reached out when he reached out to me. I was getting my heart. I was getting the heart surgery.
So you killed him.
And I said, let's do it after that. And I think
he died of a broken heart. Good one, Dave.
But he was a real man's man. You know, Rich Piana's mom was friends with him, so she kind of that's why I did a little tribute to him on the Heavy Muscle Show. But I found this video, that email, and so I wanted to read it to put it on the record. But you know, he really gave his life. He loved bodybuilding to the bitter end, and so he'll be.
And prostate cancer too. That's why next month I'm going to get my colonoscopy.
You know, prostate cancer is usually one of the most curable, but I guess when they found it, was so far gone that it was too late.
But I remember when Wayne DeMille had his, they got it early enough, and
he had his prostate removed.
But here's the thing too: a lot of bodybuilders don't look into, but I
didn't. Bob Ciccarello have prostate cancer?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think he had his prostate removed.
I think he had a lobotomy. But what I'm thinking was, we always talk about cancers, the prostates, check your liver, check your bloods. Now, here's another thing bodybuilders should check, because I had that one cut out here, and even like Chris Esteta, that with all the tanning we've done over the years, there isn't every bodybuilder I talk to when I say, do you go every year to get your moles checked or skin checked and that? They're like, no, never. I'm thinking, the amount of time we've sat in the sun tanning beds and stuff. So I recommend everyone just once a year go to a skin place and get checked over, because
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. You know why? Melanoma
spreads, because my stepdad, he had that melanoma cut out here before it was born. Now he's got spinal cancer, lung cancer, and liver cancer from the melanoma.
I know. So. It's terrible. You know, Chris almost had the same issue, but luckily he got the interferon treatment and it cured him. But, first of all, if you have a mole, get it taken off. I don't know why anyone leaves any moles anywhere. I was at a store the other day, or I think I was at a doctor's office, and the woman who was taking down my information, she had, those Italian women who have the big moles.
And the
mole had to be 2 inches off her face, and it had to be it looked like a raisin. And I wanted to take a pair of scissors and cut. She had two of them, one on her head and one on her cheek. I'm like,
did it have the hair growing out of it?
Yeah. I'm like, why in God's creation wouldn't she get that thing cut off?
I actually have an explanation for that.
Tell me.
I dated this girl once, gorgeous girl. When I first saw her, she had her hair like down, like this, and she's a really beautiful girl. And underneath that little flip, she had this giant mole, like right here on the forehead, right here, and it was huge. And I'm like, after I got to know her a little bit, I could, you might want to think about. You ever think about getting that removed? Which was a really stupid question. Like, of course she thought about getting that removed. Yeah. What a dumb fucking question. But and the two different doctors she went to see about getting it done said that the roots of it were so deep, that it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to get every bit of it out, that it wouldn't just come back. So, and also it would leave a big pit in her head, that she'd have to get filled in with something.
John, if I had that on my face, first of all, it would never get to that size because I would have had it removed before that. So, but assuming that you forget and you weren't conscious of the fact that you have a tumor growing out of your head and you wanted to get it out, I would say, you know what? Cut it out. If it grows back, I'll address it as it's coming back. I'll keep having you slice layers off of it just so that I don't have this thing growing out of the side of my head. I don't understand. Doesn't
I
make
can tell you, over the years of living in California, I've got rid of a few moles in my lifetime.
I've got a million things cut off my body over the years, you know.
Bruce
Nadler took off the lipomas in my arm.
Just chew it off.
Just
bite it off.
What? Remember in Austin Powers? Mole. Remember the guy with the mole?
Yeah.
It was from the
that reminds me of young Frankenstein and Marty Feldman when he had the hump and the hump kept moving.
Walk like me. Walk like me.
Then he'd look at him again and the hump's there and he'd go, wasn't it? He's like,
Young Frankenstein is a brilliant movie. If anyone ever wants to, if you ever thinking about, I'd like to watch a movie. I don't know what to do. If you haven't seen Young Frankenstein, it's absolutely, Mel Brooks was the genius.
The best.
Remember when Frankenstein was trying to talk, he's like, yes. Like,
you know what's right, even with that, is the Pink Panther
Peter Sellers was
Peter Sellers.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Especially when was that the one when he used to come home and that was it, the Pink Panther would come in and what's his name would always be hiding.
Yeah. The Japanese houseboy.
Yeah. He'll jump out and try and get him all the time.
Kato, wasn't his name Kato?
Yeah.
Not now, Kato, not now.
Like he'd be behind the curtain or something and he'd leap out.
You know, one of Peter Sellers' best movies, it might have been, I think it was his last, or one of them. It was called Being There. And it was a story. Didn't get a lot of publicity, but it's very good.
It was with Anne Margaret, and then
it's a genius movie. Yeah, he plays a gardener.
Chauncey Gardner.
Chauncey Gardner. Oh my God, you saw it. That's great. He plays a gardener.
It's a great movie.
He doesn't even have a last name. He's been raised in this mansion of this very wealthy person. He was born there. His mother was like a servant there, and he just became the gardener. When he got old enough. And he'd been there for so long that he didn't know there was an outside world. He knew nothing about it. And when they came in after the person who owned the estate died, they said to him, who are you? They didn't even have a record of him. There was no record of him. Who are you? He's like, I'm Chauncey the gardener. They're like, Chauncey Gardner? They thought that was his last name. And he's so simple and he has no real understanding of anything that they think he's brilliant. They mistake him for a brilliant, person.
Well, wait, you're getting left out of a really important part. When he gets kicked out of the mansion is like in downtown Detroit. It's like gunshots and cars getting jacked in front of him, right? And he's got these crack dealers are trying to sell him shit. And he's like walking, he doesn't know where the fuck he is. And he's like walking backwards, and somehow he walks in front and behind this Rolls Royce that was backing up.
Oh, and that's right.
It's run over, right? And then they take him to the mansion on Long Island, whatever. Yeah. And the owner, he's dying, right? And the old man, he's dying, he's sick, and he's dying. And they put him in, they take care of him in the hospital. And he becomes this socialite because he relates everything to the garden. And every question goes, well, in a garden, you have to, water the plants.
He's like a simpleton, but everyone thinks he's brilliant. Yeah,
right. The elite adore him. He's like a genius. He's a prodigy.
Yeah. And he dresses really nice because he always had to dress up for the estate he worked in. So, it's a brilliant movie. Very, very subdued, funny. You
got to give Mel Brooks props though for all he shows. But then, I used to love History of the World Part 1. That was like a classic movie. But then
I think they're coming out with another part, aren't they?
He's actually finally written History of the World Part 2.
He wrote Part 3 because it was never Part 1. It was Part 2. It came. The first one was Part 2.
Was that the one where he's looking out the window with the father, the king, and he's saying, "Someday this will all be yours."
Yes,
and he goes, "What, the curtains?" that movie, right?
I dropped out there for a minute. I was saying that he just wrote History of the World Part 2. Mel Brooks has just written it.
No, he wrote Part 3. The original movie that came out was Mel Brooks' History of the World Part 2. I don't think they had a Part 1.
Okay. The next one's been done. So it's meant
Part 3, I heard. Yeah, I can't. Mel Brooks has got to be 100 years old.
I was just going to say he's got to be like 105.
He still looks good though. I saw him. I think he's like 99. I got a good TV.
No, he's
show
in his hundreds.
How is he still working, John?
He's a genius. He's got good genetics too, and the work keeps him young.
I got a good TV show for you, Dave.
But
If you haven't already seen it, The Continental.
I haven't seen it. Mel Brooks is 97 years old.
97. Wow.
Holy
One of his
man.
funniest movies ever was Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
The sheriff is a
God.
me. The sheriff is a me.
When they had that big guy
They would
Mongo
consider that
around the
racist
campfire
today,
eating
John.
the beans, you know, and they have the farting contest.
Uh-huh.
John, that movie would never fly
He's got
today.
me. He's got me. But
No.
even those other.
They would never allow it today. They'd say it's the wokers would cancel
Racist.
that movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what about
the woke establishment would ban it.
But even going back, you go back to Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor in Stir Crazy, and
Those
what's the other one?
genius.
Hear no evil, see no evil.
Genius, genius movie.
Even Art, you know, Archie Bunker and the Jeffersons and what was it? Kid Dynamite? What was that? All in the
Oh yeah.
All in the
yeah,
family. Or
He used to go to
J.J.
college.
Walker, yeah.
He used to train
Good
at
times.
college.
J.J. Walker, Sanford and Son. You know,
Yeah.
none of that shit would fly today.
But where did we lose that? Where did we lose that though? Because we could laugh at ourselves then, and people took it as comedy. No one took it as racism or attacking anyone. Everyone just laughed and had a good time. But Dave, The Continental, why haven't you seen this?
Now, where is that on Netflix?
Here it's on Prime. It's John Wick. It's like 3 episodes.
I gotta watch.
20.
I never heard of it. I didn't. You guys,
haven't
you're
heard
up
of it
to
either.
date.
You know the guy Winston who runs the Continental Hotel with John Wick.
Yeah.
This is like they bring him from London to get his brother to New York, and Mel Gibson's running the Continental. He's a badass.
Oh, really?
And
All right. I got to see
It's
it.
it's like the origins of John Wick from the beginning of the whole.
I want to watch it then. All right. I'll watch it. I want to bring up one
Mel
more story.
Gibson. Mel Gibson attacks this guy of a golf club, and he puts in every little innuendo, like he teed me off, and that he's just smashing the guy's head, like blood everywhere.
I want to bring up one more story. Have you seen Dana White? You know, the guy who runs the UFC. Have you seen his transformation he's made?
No.
What? He got a hair transplant?
No. He was always a fat, bulky guy.
He must have done Frisella's 75 hard.
I don't know.
Did Milos train him? Because Milos is always at the UFC.
Look at that.
Wow. Good for him.
Hold on a second. What did I just do? Oh, there it is.
Every time I see him, he reminds me of a skinnier version now of Alex Jones.
He looks a lot like Steve Weinberger and Joe Rogan.
He does.
Yeah,
Much shorter, but
much shorter than Steve. Yeah.
And look, he's got hairy abs like me, or is he shallow?
He went to some
That's a good
doctor, and then
shadow.
I guess they assessed his blood work, and they told him you got 10 years to live. With the lifestyle you're leading, the way you're eating, kind of the way Lee's eating right now, Kentucky Fried Chicken and sodas and stuff like that. And so he cleaned up his act, and he lost all the weight.
The Get Big
Good for
Deadpool
him.
had me dead at 24. So
Dana White, people don't realize he's got a great story. I mean, he saved the UFC. I mean, the UFC was bankrupt, out of business. This guy stuck with them during the hard times. They couldn't get a venue. No state would let these guys hold fights because they thought it was insanely dangerous and it would never happen. And he turned that whole thing around. I mean,
Donald Trump helped him.
Yeah. Well, Donald gave them the venues in Jersey.
Yep.
Oh yeah. By the way, like I said before, I'm going to Florida to buy his property for $18 million. What a bargain!
We were just talking about
be
that.
a long line waiting and
I should be able to turn that around for at least $200 million or so.
Aaron's been there, right? Aaron had his Christmas party before he went to jail there, right?
Yeah, he did.
Did he gate crash it on his boat?
I don't know.
Well, where he crashed his boat is right behind Mar-a-Lago.
It was? Oh, I didn't know that.
It's that body of water that's behind. It's the intercoastal.
Okay.
Because it
wasn't directly behind Mar-a-Lago, but it was in that waterway.
Well, I think he took our advice, John. He's been very quiet, Aaron, and he's been doing well. So
I hope he does do well.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I hope so too.
Sometimes it takes shit to happen to you to turn your life around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So,
Lee,
you're leaving at what time?
I just was going to say, that Ozempic. I didn't quite catch the name, but it was on the news here yesterday. Australia's got some new drug, weight loss drug, that's going to rival that drug. So,
Well,
And I'm
there's
watching this and they're
Monjaro.
on weight loss drug, this and that. I'm thinking,
Monjaro's the new one that's better than Ozempic.
is it? I'm like, can't you people just clean up your eating and exercise a bit if you can?
You know what, though,
Yes.
Lee? Let me tell you something about these drugs. I'm not hardly a prude when it comes to drugs, but a lot of people, you know, you're a good self-control guy. When you put your mind to it, you can diet, you know, and you don't, you know, you're pretty good. But a lot of people are snackers, and it's because they're emotional eaters. So they have, you know, they have something go wrong in their life, they snack and eat. The Ozempic takes away, it doesn't take your appetite away, but it makes the meal you're eating last longer because it slows the transition of the meal through your digestive tract. So people don't cheat between meals, and that's why they lose weight. Now, some of these Hollywood elite, they take it and they just don't eat. So they lose muscle and fat, and they look terrible. They look hectic. But bodybuilders, people who are physique athletes who use it, get really good results because it prevents them from cheating. And then, you know, obviously, you know, the diet works unless you cheat. John and I know, you know, we know people who, you know, are the biggest cheaters and have 1,000,001 excuses. And, you know, they never get any results. But when you stick to a diet, it works. And so that's why Ozempic is a good tool for a physique athlete. Probably not healthy for regular people who will just skip eating altogether. You know?
A physique athlete, your motivation is to get in your best shape, to get on fucking stage. You don't need a weight loss drug for that. If you're an obese person, like I said, unless you've got a medical condition and can't lose weight, if you're just a fat cunt and you can't lose weight, here's an idea. Here's some motivation for you. If you keep eating the way you're eating, you're going to fucking die. I just asked Nick Trigilli. He's told Sam Sulak, if you keep eating this way, you're going to die. Even though Sam's 21. And I was so tempted to do a thing on Instagram. I said, Lee, don't do it. Don't do it. You're being good. I was going to put up a picture of McDonald's in one picture that Sam eats. And when you scroll across to the next picture, there was going to be a cock that Nick Trigilli has. I'd say, which would you prefer in your mouth? But I didn't do it. I refrained.
I think it's John, I told you it's the trend he's on. He can't control it.
You know what
that
it
he
is
won't,
too, though?
right.
That
he won't admit he's on.
Yes.
Well, Greg just said at this doctor on the other day, I'm not sure if you've seen the video, and this doctor's saying about Sam's drugs, and this is what Sam should take. And he's saying, when you take tests, you shouldn't take 1,000 on that. You shouldn't take any more than 400. But with the 400 a test, then you can add in like a bit of D-bol and stuff like this. And Greg Doucette's agreeing, the doctor's saying this is the best way to do it. And I'm sitting there going, that's what I've always fucking done. And you called me a fucking liar. Greg Doucette has called me a liar about my fucking small drug usage. But now this doctor's saying you should only take 400 a test. There's no need to go higher. Then you add in the other stuff. Like when I was taking 400 a test, I was probably taking 30 mils of Dianabol a day. And then on top of that, I was probably taking, you know, whatever else. So my whole total was probably 1,000 to 1,200.
I wouldn't listen
but now
to your
this is the
advice
new
for
thing.
in a million years because you are a genetic freak. Look at your arm. You're 50 years old and you got a 24-inch arm that's staring at our face.
Kentucky abs.
And
Kentucky
abs. Look, he still has a small waist too, John. His waist never got any bigger.
Nope.
He's got a few more tattoos than normal, but you know.
That's my next tattoo. If I could go back in time, I swear to God, if I could go back in time, you know those anatomy charts you see on the gym wall of all the muscles?
Right.
I'd have that fucking tattooed all over me.
Oh,
so even at 280, I'd look ripped. But then imagine if you were ripped with all those tattoos on, you'd be like, wow.
What if they don't sync up with the muscles that you got?
I was just going to say that. As long as everything lined up, you know.
Well,
you know, I thought he was going to say, John, I really thought he was going to say, if I had to do this all over again, I would never get a tattoo. I
never would expect that out of him.
Well, if you didn't get a tattoo, you'd have no fucking hair, Dave. So what are you talking about?
Aren't tattoos just part of your tribe? I mean, you're Australian. I mean, everybody's.
Yes, I'm from the Kickatinalong.
You remember, John? Remember when he had that one tattoo, the Superman tattoo on his arm, just one, and he would play around with that. I think he wrote someone's name on there once, and then he covered that up, and that's when he started getting out of control. The one,
you know, when I had the first tattoo, and Chris Cormier took us there, and he took off and didn't get one. When I got that Superman tattoo, I can remember to this day. I'm never getting another one. That's it, just that one.
Yeah. It's addicting. They're very addicting, believe me.
And then I said I had the one on the face. I kept adding to it. 14 years later, I took it off, waited a few years. I'll put another one back on.
It's like changing the wallpaper.
Yeah,
Actually, a guy just contacted me too.
He likes
I got a message on Instagram. Lee, I got a tattoo shop in the Bronx. If you got time, come on down.
Oh, no.
It's like nowhere near where you're going to be.
You know what his problem is, John? Everyone wants to do free shit for him. And so
no, people think you're going to New York. They think it's like 4 square blocks.
I know.
I'm going to see Trump at court. I'm going to go visit.
He's going to be there a long time, though, John. He probably could go to all these places. It's not
if he had somebody driving him around,
Carlo will drive him anywhere. I guarantee you. If you just talk to Carlo, he'll drive you all over the place. Carlo loves
what you should do is go to Manhattan. You should definitely go to Brian Moss's old gym.
I want to go get a picture of Trump with Trump going into court.
Lee, you got to go to Steve Weinberger's gym. You got to go.
You got to go there too. You got to go to Weinberger's.
You should go out there and take a picture with him. It'll be all over the internet.
While you're in Jersey, you should go to Diamond.
Steve like me? I like Steve. I don't know if Steve likes me.
I think he would. If you went to his gym, I think he'd appreciate it. That shows respect towards him. You know what I mean?
I've been to his gym. I loved his gym when I used to go there. A couple of times. There, it was a nice gym.
Believe it or not, I used to have a lifetime membership to that gym.
I remember his office. His office had a lot of memorabilia stuff in there and all the different stuff on the walls. And
you would be shocked how much that gym has changed. He really redid a lot of stuff in the gym. It's nice.
And he still has like the boxing ring out the back, doesn't he? And stuff
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest gyms.
You should definitely go there. You should definitely go to
Diamond Gym. He's going to be
Diamond. You'll be right there. Yeah, you can definitely go see Diamond Gym. Dwayne McDaniel's over there. Where else? You got to go to Valentino's for meatballs and sausage.
You got to go to Jimmy's and listen to him complain. Go to Jimmy's and you'll just go ride with Jimmy to his next trip to the VA hospital.
You guys could go together.
Yeah, you can film it.
Group package.
I watched After Hours. I know what Greg wants me to go to his place for.
He wants you to bang his girlfriend. That's what he wants.
Yeah, his girlfriend wants.
Are you up for that? Would your wife let you do that because you'd be in another country?
Look, if she was there, she'd probably let me. If she was like there, I'd probably have to go live on camera.
You can go live stream it to so that she can see what's going on.
She just wants to blow him, actually.
I think according to Greg, I think she wants Lee
Did he say bang him or blow him?
No, she wants Lee to do anal on her because that's what Greg does with her.
Can I just finger pop her or something instead?
I imagine you can work out the details once you get there.
Well, you know what? This will be what happens, John. He'll go to Jimmy the Bulls. Jimmy will take him to Matteo's or wherever Italian place he goes to.
Oh, yeah.
Or they'll go to Little Italy, his friend, and they'll eat like the worst food of all Italian food, the most greasy, spicy. They'll both have heartburn and they'll think they're having a heart attack. Then they'll both have to get the VA together to get the Alka-Seltzer, which meanwhile, they'll both think they're having like a massive heart attack, And,
I'll be like, I was here before him. I got more chest pain than this guy. Oh, he's funny.
And they'll have to do the confessional show from the actual VA hospital.
Right, from the emergency room. With the Asian nurse that Jimmy loves.
Everyone at John Hunter, I want to apologize to.
And you know what'll happen? Hold on, you know what'll happen? The Asian nurse will actually like Lee. And Jimmy will get really jealous.
Break Jimmy's heart.
Fight.
Jimmy will be heartbroken.
Yeah.
You know how emotional he'll get over that? Oh my God.
I'll be like, when I went
so they're like, you're Lee Priest. Oh, I'm your biggest fan.
I don't think that's recoverable.
I went to the John Hunter emergency room.
I don't think you'd ever get over that.
when I was sick, right, I went up to the John Hunter, right? I went at a good time. There wasn't too many people, probably 20 waiting, old people, one with their arm in a sling. One guy's holding the towel. He's got all blood in it. I go in. What's your problem? I get tightness here, dizzy, can't breathe properly. I probably sat down for 2 minutes. Lee Priest in here, and up I get. But before I got up, the guy comes over with a broken arm. Oh, Lee, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, sure. So he takes the picture with me. So these people have been waiting hours. I walk in, straight in, they're just like this. They all go like this. And then they do the ECG and that and blood. Then they walk me back out. And as we're walking through, the nurse says, "You're lucky we've got a bed for you out the back." And she said that in front of everyone. Then they take me through another door, and everyone's just like this. I can just see them thinking, fucking Lee Priest gets special treatment because he comes to the fucking hospital. I tell him, if you go to an emergency, tell him it's your heart and that fucking straight in.
Well, you know who told us that?
Blackman.
That's
a Blackmanism.
Blackman told me that years ago. When you go to the hospital, you tell him you have chest pain.
Chest pain. They'll take you right in.
He's right. He's right.
Chest pain. I gave it to him all this time. I said, it's really squeezing. I said, and even this morning watching TV, I'm getting pain in my jaw. I gave him every fucking symptom I could think that was on Google.
Left arm is going numb.
Yeah. They take you right in when you have chest pain.
My eyes blurry. My eyes getting blurry, and I think it's like a part of a stroke. I fucking gave him all.
You know what they do with Jimmy now? Jimmy's been to the hospital, the VA so much that they put him in like the back room and they leave him there for a couple hours. If the symptoms, if he gets up and leaves, they know that he's making.
Yeah, it was like going to the nurse's office when you were in grade school. You know, they make you lay down on that fucking bench. You know, you'll lay there for a while. You'll feel better. You know?
Jimmy would send me videos. He's like, Lee, he'd be like this. I don't know what's going on. It's fucking cold. I've been laying here for 2 hours. No one's even have to fucking see me. As soon as I told this woman my symptoms, she was up, told the other nurse, door swings open. Lee, come in here. And everyone just gave me even the guy holding this towel, I don't know what was wrong with him, but it was covered in blood. He's like,
All right, well, Lee, have a safe flight to the United States. Give us a text when you land, obviously. So
sometimes if they got internet on the plane, I try to connect on the plane and give people shit.
Oh yeah, that might be. Imagine Lee Priest maybe you could do your confessionals with. Although
with that connection up there, you're not even going to get to the first commercial.
Should I wear my priest outfit on the plane? I might.
There you go. Maybe they'll give you special treatment. They might upgrade.
No, you should wear that. You should wear that Slipknot mask that Armin had on yesterday.
If he dressed as a priest, they'd upgrade him to first class, John.
I'd be perfect. I'd be upgraded to first class, and everyone would keep their kids away from me. I'll have a quiet flight.
No, people would be coming up and wanting to do a confessional with you. They'd be like, we'd like to make a confession. You'd have to go into the bathroom with them or something
make him like an exorcist like priest, like one of the he's like a specialist. He's the one where they got to fly him all the way from Australia to Edison, New Jersey, to do an exorcism.
Speaking of that, John, the new Exorcist movies come out, and Dee Wallace, who played Regan, Linda Blair's mother from the original, is in this one, and these two kids go into the bush and they come out and they're all possessed now, and they're like, Regan's with us, and Dee Wallace is in it. The preview looks great. The new Exorcist movie looks really good.
So hold on, she's in the movie?
Yeah, she's in it. Yeah,
I don't see. How come I don't see her name listed?
Yeah, she's in it. Sort of
Jennifer Nettles, Ellen Burstyn, Ann Dowd.
Yeah, she's in it. I saw the preview because
Ann Dowd was the mom.
Well, that might be her then. That might be her. She looks like that Dee Wallace woman almost, but she got there because he's sitting there and she's like, Regan's with us, and she's talking to the mother of Regan.
I don't think the girl played Regan. What was her name again?
Linda Blair. She's not in it. No, she's not in it. No.
They should have got her in the movie.
But Linda these two girls get
like 80 by now. Doesn't she?
Well, yeah, Ellen Burstyn's got to be 80 by now too.
You wouldn't need the makeup to look possessed now.
Hold on, let me pull this up here.
And there's another good horror movie coming out called Harvest.
There it is. I'm not a big Exorcist fan, to be honest. I'm not even a horror movie person because nothing scares me anymore. I'm like, this is like it's not even scary anymore.
It's like all the Jason Halloween movies. They're just funny. They're good. Did you watch the last two, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends? They were pretty good.
No, I didn't see that.
You know what was the real letdown was that they could have made it like really horrendous was Blair Witch Project.
I
didn't
that when it first came out.
They could have. That was a good, decent idea. They just executed it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Hold on. That could have been.
Oh, there's rocks. There's rocks in the bush.
No, you got to put the camera up here. You only can see the top of your head. Yeah.
I think Lee. I think that Lee has seen more movies than any person I know.
Dexter Jackson.
Him and John Hanson also seen a lot of movies, but I think Lee watches like TV series too, because like every time I say Lee, I got a great thing, he's like, I've already seen it.
Gran Turismo is not a bad movie. It's about the true life story of when they took the gamers and they tested all these gamers in simulators, and they got the top simulator person, and he got a contract with Nissan and raced at the Nuremberg and all, that sort of thing. Good
really?
Yeah, it's a good movie called Gran Turismo. But
I'm going to be watching a lot of movies in the near future. I'm putting a theater room in downstairs.
Oh, nice.
Did you get to watch Equalizer 3 yet?
No, I haven't finished.
John, you never stop. You're always working on that house. Holy!
I have 2 rooms to go. I got to build the theater room and the wine cellar. Those two, then I'm done.
That I'd like to see the wine cellar. That's going to be great.
It's going to be like a cave, like a stone cave.
You got to make like an old Italian one, John. The one like very.
I'm going to have prosciutto hanging up and the salamis and exactly like that. Yep.
3 rooms, John. 3 rooms. You forget. The sex dungeon.
That was the first one I did. That's already
with the swing hanging from.
I got the hooks in the ceiling, and
you got to have the sliding door, the secret door that opens up.
It's a whole little separate area.
That's the spirit.
All right, I got to wrap this up. Lee, have a very safe flight to the United States. We'll see you when you get here. And John, thanks for joining us as always.
And
guys,
kids and children, remember, eat Kentucky, eat McDonald's because it works.
Let's see your back.
Oh, my back looks terrible. I got a big tattoo on my back. Look, I got a big tattoo.
Oh, is that new?
Oh, that's been there since early 2000. I forget it's there because I never look at my back. It's behind me. Like, because sometimes they say, "Oh, the back of your hair's not right." I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't see it.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for joining us, guys, live. We'll be back again next week for another installment of Iron Rage.
All right.